Hello students, welcome to La Excellence. Welcome to the discussion on current affairs for beginners. Let us see the today's topics. The first article is on Western Ghats. Here we need to know one about Western Ghats, why they are experiencing biodiversity threats. Two, we need to know about this particular organization. Let's see what is IUCN first. IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature. It is a world body which consists of both government organizations, that is, the country representatives, plus non-government organizations, that are NGOs, civil society organizations, etc. This consists of these two. It studies the biodiversity, species status, by which it releases Red Data Book. Red Data Book provides us information on the threatened species. Based on this, they suggest measures also. This IUCN, it studies protected areas like national parks, biosphere reserves, and they give the status of those protected areas status. For example, in this particular article, this IUCN told that Western Ghats and Manas Tiger Reserve and Biosphere Reserve. Western Ghats is the western margin of Indian Peninsula. This part, Western Ghats, it is a highly biodiverse region. It is one of the world biodiverse region. Manas is in Assam. Manas Tiger Reserve, Biosphere Reserve. It's famous for tigers. So Assam, this Manas protected area is also under threat. That is the report. Here we need to know why these Western Ghats, protected areas like Manas, why they are under threat. First thing is exploitation, high exploitation. For example, in Western Ghats, mining, land use change for agriculture. The forests were converted into agricultural fields. Likewise, in different protected areas like national parks, biosphere reserves, wildlife sanctuaries, in all these areas we experience some kind of exploitation and species diversity or biodiversity is getting threatened. The next article is on Amaravati bonds. In general, if you have observed our economic survey 2017 and 18, it says cities have to gain their own capital or cities have to fund themselves. In general, for city development, government provides funds or governments borrow. For example, this is a new capital of Andhra Pradesh. So, AP government borrows funds from different sources. Central government gives some fund through different means it sources. One of the means to source this fund is to go for bonds. Government bonds. State government releases bonds in the name of Amaravati bond. So whoever invests in these bonds, state government acts as a guarantor with certain amount of interest rate or return. Through that way, people come and invest in these bonds. The amount is used for development of that particular city. This is very good model for urbanization. Because for urbanization, what is the biggest problem? Funds. Finding adequate funding is the biggest problem. So, if we can address this problem, then urbanization through such funding instruments is a very good start. The next topic, in this topic we need to know about 15th Finance Commission. Here, 15th Finance Commission is appointed and its terms of reference is under conflict. But we are not going to discuss what is its terms of reference, but we are going to discuss on how Finance Commission devolves funds. Finance Commission is a constitutional body. It means it is appointed under one article, that is Article 280. Under this article, Finance Commission is appointed by President of India for every 5 years. In general, this Finance Commission, it takes the pool of taxes and divides these taxes between center and states. Here we have two terms. One is vertical devolution. Vertical devolution is devolution of taxes from center to states. One single formula it gives. For example, 14th Finance Commission said 42% of the central pool taxes need to be shared with the states. So, out of 100, 42% of the taxes are given to states. Then, there is this horizontal distribution. Horizontal distribution is nothing but this tax, this 42% need to be distributed among the states. This formula is known as horizontal distribution. For this, Finance Commission gives a certain criteria. Here, 13th Finance Commission has given this formula, 14th Finance Commission given this formula. Here, 10% weight is given for the population of 2011. 0 for fiscal discipline. Some of the states they are arguing that there is no incentive for going for reduction in the population. So those states that have not reduced their population, they are getting benefited in this particular scheme. But those states which went for family planning, family awareness, etc., so they are not gaining anymore. And fiscal discipline, this is removed as a criteria under 14th Finance Commission. So those states which went for fiscal discipline, which implemented FRBM Act, so they are arguing that we are losing out. We don't have any incentive even for going to the fiscal discipline aspect. These are contentious issues. Here we need to see just what is the Finance Commission, what is the process of devolution of its funding. This article deals with arsenic poisoning. Arsenic poisoning. Here, arsenic is naturally occurring material. In rocks, it is available. In rocks, it is available. That's why wherever leaching is high, in those areas, arsenic levels are higher. Especially, arsenic levels will be higher in the groundwater, where the rock composition has more levels of arsenic. In the flowing water, for example, the rivers, they also have some amount of arsenic because they carry the sediments of rock particles. So even these bodies also contain arsenic. Here, in this particular article, West Bengal is severely affected by arsenic poisoning. In general, this Ganga basin and Brahmaputra basin consists of Assam state. Here, UP, Bihar, West Bengal. There are many states like Jharkhand. So these states and Assam. Here, the country of Bangladesh. This entire area is prone to arsenic poisoning. It is due to this sedimentary basin. Because of this, plus man-made factors. These are natural factors. Man-made factors like high use of fertilizers, chemical pesticides, etc. They also contain some amount of arsenic, because of which the arsenic pollution is high in the waters near to these basin areas. Here, WHO, World Health Organization, says if the water contains greater than 10 parts per billion of arsenic particles, then it is considered arsenic contaminated. But in countries like India, Bangladesh, we consider if the arsenic particle has more than 50 parts per billion, then we consider it as contaminated water. This arsenic is poisonous. It is toxic. It leads to skin problems. In severe cases, it leads to cancers. Most of the cancer cases in states like Bihar, West Bengal, they are due to arsenic, high level of arsenic in the groundwater. The next article is regarding pro tem speaker. We should know who is a pro tem speaker. Speaker chairs the particular house. If it is Parliament, Lok Sabha has speaker. If it is State Assembly, State Legislative Assembly, it has speaker. So speaker is the presiding officer of the house. Pro tem speaker is the one who is appointed by the governor in case of states, by the President of India in case of Lok Sabha. Here, this person is appointed. Note this word appointed. In general, speaker is elected. Speaker is elected by the members of the house. Here, pro tem speaker is appointed by the executive, governor or President of India. This person is appointed because immediately after the election, the house assembles. Then these people, the members of parliament, here members of legislative assembly, here members of parliament, they need to elect their leader, they need to elect their speaker. Before that, they need to administer oath. For administering the oath of the members, this pro tem speaker is appointed. He administers the oath. He presides the house till the speaker gets elected. Speaker need to be elected by the members. And in case of hung assembly, floor test is conducted by the pro tem speaker. Pro tem speaker is nothing but the one who is temporary speaker. So these three are main functions of pro tem speaker. In this particular article, it is continuation to the previous one. Here, governor's choice in appointing the pro tem speaker is questioned. Pro tem speaker is the temporary speaker. Why it is questioned? If you observe here, under Article 180, governor has the power to appoint a pro tem speaker. But governor's discretion is used in appointing him. In general, a senior person is appointed as pro tem speaker. Here, in this particular Karnataka case, the Congress or the opposition parties accused the governor saying that the appointment of that particular person is not correct. So, this case they went for Supreme Court. Here are few cases. For example, Rameshwar Prasad case. In this case, it says, though the governors have discretion in appointing pro tem speaker, they have the judicial review of that particular decision. They go for testing this ground, malified or it being ultra vires. So here in this article we need not remember anything. In the previous article is very important. We need to know who is pro tem speaker. This is not our concern. This is useful for our mains, where we need to remember. We need to add this as an example when we write about speaker's discretionary power. There we can use this as a case study. The next article is on oil prices, rise of oil prices and impact on India. Here we have external account. External account we maintain and we call it as BOP, balance of payment. Here we have two types of accounts, current account, capital account. Under current account, trade of goods, trade of services, these two are mentioned. Along with this, remittances are mentioned. Here, trade of goods and commodities, in this oil comes. Here, as we import 82% of our oil requirements from outside, for any slight change in the oil prices, we have huge trade deficit because we don't have any exports of oil, crude oil. Though we export the petroleum products, but crude oil imports are very high for India. So rise in the price of oil, it leads to trade deficit. That comes under capital account. The next article is on CCI, Competition Commission of India. This body is appointed under Competition Act of 2002. Under this act, this body is appointed. It oversees the market competition. If any company violates the rules for competition, then it penalizes that particular company or corporation. In this particular case, acquisition by one company of other company is happening. So CCI, what it does is it oversees this process. In this case of acquisition, if there is any market distortion or if this particular acquisition is with the intention of reducing or modified competition, then it will not allow this particular acquisition. Here I have given 2 questions from today's articles. Please try to answer them. Thank you very much.